Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Ed, also known as the Angry Old Man to his sons. This is my 96th TTM video. TTM stands for Through the Mail, where we send out autograph requests to athletes, famous people, whomever, and hope they send our stuff back, preferably signed, and we don't get the dreaded yellow sticker, which is return to sender, refused. Usually they're at home. If they've moved, there's another address on there, but usually they just don't want the mail, so they refuse it or say not here, a lot of the time. So we don't like that. Today I'll share with you 3 TTM pickups that I received, all former folks associated with the National Football League or even college football, both. I'll show you a couple of pickups that I made this week and some shout-outs for some great channels. All right. Let's start off with the shout-outs, shall we? 2 veterans and 2 new folks. The first is a guy that really loves history like I do. I'll move this a little closer. He's got a great channel and most recently been doing a lot of, athletes, ball players who've served in World War II. Great videos. Check him out. Mike, the Sports History Collector. Does a superb job with the videos. Great music. Great cards to show you. Just fun. You'll like it. Second is another veteran. He's not dirty. Anyway, it's Filthy Cards. Great channel. Great show. Check him out. Lots of fun as well. So, good cards. Good cards. Like cards. Third is a new channel I just started watching. That's Hicks Sports Cards. He's got about 91 subscribers, of which I'm one, so check him out. He's got some cards as well. And the fourth one, The Affordable Collector, another channel I just started watching. He's got 9 subs, so you want to check him out and his collection also. Give him his look. I think you'll like them. I only put out channels that I think you'll like. That I like and I think you'll like, so wouldn't send you someplace bad. But check those 4 guys out. Great channels. Give them a sub. Now we shall come to the pickup portion of the show. And the first one is a card that was signed. It's authenticated by PSA. This is not his original. I get the words out. Card from 1982, I believe. 81. I think it's 81. Sorry. 81. This is a card somebody made, but it got signed by him. And that's Earl Campbell. He didn't have a card that year, but if he did, that would have been a great card to have. With the Houston Oilers, the old Houston Oilers. They moved to Tennessee, became the Tennessee Oilers, and they played in Memphis, and now are the Tennessee Titans. But that's a great card. This guy's a Hall of Famer, one of the 5 greatest running backs of all time. I was a little kid, so it's kind of hard to remember how great he was, but reading about him, he was Houston's offense. He didn't play that long, but in his first 4 seasons, he crammed a Hall of Fame career. Campbell left, Campbell right, Campbell up the middle, throw the ball to Campbell. Some great videos of him running the football. His jersey got torn off on one play, and he used his head as a battering ram. Just a superb player. So, I like that one. And the second is my now oldest Kareem Abdul-Jabbar card, 1972. Back when he was with the Bucks. And this is a 4, which is great. I wish I'd have had it to enter Sarge's contest that he just had, but I don't have too many 4s, except for this one now, I think. I have to check, but I think it's the only one. But, I like Kareem. He was a great player. It's got Wilt Chamberlain in the card, his back. I know people like to try to jack up the prices on cards when they see another famous person in it, but, not their card. Nice to have them in there, though. But, I like this one. And this is my oldest Kareem card. Get it in a focus there. Losing focus. I don't know what's going on with this camera. And 2 other pickups from my 1964 Topps Giant baseball card set. First is Wayne Causey. He's a short print card, so he's a little expensive. And then this guy with the Pirates, Bob Clemente. No. I read a book Dave Marinis wrote about him. He did not like to be called Bob, and you can't blame him. It's not his name. Roberto Clemente, one of the greatest players ever. So I got these 2. I'm down to 6 now. Sandy Koufax, which is expensive. Hank Aaron, Willie Mays. They're not cheapies, especially since Willie died. People upped the prices of his cards. Like, oh, they're not going to make anymore. Newsflash, they don't make those anyway. I want to tell some of those folks. Bob Friend, he's a short print. That's expensive. Galen Cisco's a short print, so that's a little expensive. And the same with Moose Scallon, wearing a Senator's uniform. Can't picture him not in a Yankees uniform. All right, this first one, first of 3 returns. Hey, we made it. Comes all the way from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. It took 21 days. Excuse me. Get it out. I don't know what's wrong with my throat here. There's no fee. He signed 2 of 2. He signed the Notre Dame card. Shout out to Tony Black, Notre Dame, Notre Dame du Lac. The great college there in Indiana. And he also signed this NFL card with the Falcons. Smiling in both cards, so he's got to be happy. That's nice. Tell you a little bit about Mr. George Coons. George James Coons was born on July 5th, 1947. So he just celebrated his 77th birthday. Big happy to him. Born in Fort Sheridan, Illinois. He attended the University of Notre Dame. Fine school. It is a really good school. Was a 1968 consensus first-team All-American with the Irish. 2-year starter at right tackle and was co-captain of the 1968 team. He also was a member of the 1966 National Championship team that year. In the 1969 NFL Draft, he was picked in the first round with the second pick by the Atlanta Falcons. Who went number 1? Guy from the University of Southern California, a running back by the name of Orenthal James Simpson. Yeah, OJ, the Juice. You can say what you want about off the field, but on the field, he was a great back. The number 3 pick was Leroy Keys for the Philadelphia Eagles. I saw recently he was voted one of the worst draft picks in Eagle history. Right behind him, number 4, was a guy selected by the Steelers by the name of Joe Green. So, yeah, I'm sure Eagles would like to have that guy. His NFL career went from 1969 to 1980, playing for both the Falcons and the Colts. The Baltimore Colts, I'll tell you that. He played with the Falcons from 69 to 74, and then in 1975 was traded to the Baltimore Colts along with Atlanta's first-round pick that year, which was number 3 overall. Excuse me, for the Colts' first-round pick, which was number 1. The Falcons wound up choosing a quarterback out of Cal by the name of Steve Bartkowski. So it worked out pretty well for the Falcons. They got a great quarterback. He was a heck of a player. So he spent the remaining years with the Baltimore Colts. And I say Baltimore Colts, my old science teacher in school. When they moved out in 1984, he drove all the way from New Jersey with his friends to Baltimore. 8 times a year he had season tickets for the Colts. And I shout out to him because I remember his exact words when the Colts left. He told the class, I hope Robert Irsay, and I quote, chokes on a chicken bone. Not like Bob Irsay after that. Irsay could have left the name and the history and all that in Baltimore, but he wasn't a big fan of the city. I still don't know why he traded the Colts for the Rams when he owned the Rams. Mr. Coons, now that I get back on track here, was a 3-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. As I said, he was a member of the 1966 National Championship in college. He played in 129 games and started 126 of them. In 2010, he graduated from UNLV's William Boyd School of Law and is currently a lawyer in Las Vegas. And hopefully one day we'll get into the NFL Hall of Fame. Great lineman. So hopefully we'll. Yeah, I understand I got a backlog and all that. This second one is an 8x10 photo. Get that out of there. It came all the way from Ohio. There was no fee. It took 2 weeks. This gentleman was kind enough to sign it. Move this stuff back a little. And that is former NFL head coach Jerry Glanville. Nice enough to sign that picture. Sitting on a motorcycle there. Got his cowboy hat on. And he's got the cheerleaders around him. Nice photo. I'll tell you a little bit about him. Mr. Jerry Michael Glanville, born October 14th, 1941 in Perrysburg, Ohio, which is, I believe, where he currently resides. Currently 82. He shares the same birthday with Dwight Eisenhower, 34th president. I don't know why I threw that in there. You can take it or leave it. Good or bad, useless or helpful. It's just a fact. He attended Northern Michigan University. As a middle linebacker, he played on the football team and graduated in 1964. He received his master's degree from Western Kentucky University down here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, Vet City, where they make the Corvettes. Excuse me, I know that because my wife has family down there. He was an assistant coach with the Hilltoppers, and he roomed with future NFL coach Joe Bugle. Most famous became the assistant head coach, offensive line coach with the Redskins, the Hogs, back in their heyday. The two of them were known for drawing football plays on pizza boxes during their time. Jerry Glanville was an assistant coach with such teams as the Detroit Lions, the Atlanta Falcons, the Buffalo Bills, and that's just someone sending me a message, and the Houston Oilers. He's also head coach with the Houston Oilers and the Atlanta Falcons, just those two teams. His last year as an NFL coach was in 1993. He was an assistant coach in college, as I said, with Western Kentucky. He also was an assistant with Georgia Tech and Hawaii back in 2005 and 6. And currently, I believe he's an assistant with Northwestern Oklahoma State. He was a head coach in college with the Portland State team from 2007 to 2009. He's coached in the XFL as a defensive coordinator with Tampa. And in the CFL in 2018, he was a defensive coordinator with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's done analysis on TV. His career as a coach, head coach, 69 wins, 73 losses in the NFL, so he won about 46% of his games. And in college, he was 9-24, won about 27% of his games. He also learned how to race cars, and who taught him? At the Richmond International Speedway in Virginia was a guy by the name of Dale Earnhardt. Taught him how to drive cars, racing cars. He did compete. Coach Glanville competed in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He raced 6 times over 2 years, and 65th was his best finish. In the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, he had 27 races over 5 years, and his best finish was 18th. If you watch videos of him as a coach, one game he was arguing with a back judge while he was coach of the Houston Oilers, and he told the judge, you know what NFL stands for? Not for long. Because I guess it was a bad call. So that's his one of his famous quotes. Also, you used to love the fact he left tickets for Elvis at the games in case he ever showed up. But thanks, Coach Glanville. Excuse me. Last but not least, number 4. This took 6 months. There was no fee. I had originally sent it to Cleveland, where he was playing, and he sent it back from who knows where, because it wasn't stamped, and that is former Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco. Somebody had sent me that photo years ago, so I figured I'd send it to him. I saw he was signing in late December, and people were getting their stuff back in like 2 weeks, so I sent it to him. Well, it took a little bit longer than 2 weeks, but hey, 6 months is pretty good. Not as long as Zach. We've had about almost 7 years waiting for Joe to come back. A little bit about Mr. Flacco. Joseph Vincent Flacco, better known as Joe. Born January 16th, 1985 in Audubon, New Jersey. He's currently 39. He originally attended the University of Pittsburgh, but then transferred to the University of Delaware. 2007 was probably his best season in college. In the game against Navy in 2007, he threw for 434 yards and 4 touchdowns. I remember my in-laws went to that game because they were season ticket holders at the time, as my father-in-law. My father-in-law served in the Navy. He went to the Naval Academy, so always roots for Navy. But they came back, him and my mother-in-law, and I remember them saying, Joe Flacco, this good quarterback here, he could be something down the line. In 2007, the University of Delaware lost in the national championship game in Division, what was then, I think, 1AA, whatever you want to call it, to Appalachian State 49-21. While at Delaware, he set 20 school records. He threw for 7,057 yards in his college career, 41 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Now, he was worried at Delaware that he might not get drafted, play pro football, so he asked his coach if he should go out and play baseball, and the coach told him, no, don't do that. Stick with football. So it worked out. In the 2008 NFL Draft, he was picked in the first round with the 18th pick by the Baltimore Ravens. Who went number 1 that year? The Miami Dolphins selected Jake Long. He was the highest drafted player ever from the University of Delaware, and he was the first Division I AA player to be selected in the first round since Steve McNair back in 1995. His NFL career, from 2008 to the present, I'd have seen him in Baltimore, where he won the Super Bowl and was Super Bowl MVP, as you can see him holding the Lombardi Trophy. That was the game they beat the Niners and the power went out, made the game longer. Then he played with Denver, the Jets, the Eagles, the Browns last season, and now he's with the Colts. So obviously he's got something if he can still hang around that long. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2008, and last year was the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. As I said, he was a Super Bowl champ and Super Bowl MVP. In his career in the playoffs, he actually has tied some records. The most playoff road wins for a quarterback with 7, tied with some guy who came out of Michigan by the name of Tom Brady. I don't know what happened to him. Did he ever play, that Brady guy, anymore after that? He has also had the most touchdowns in a postseason with 11, tied with Joe Montana, Kurt Warner, and Patrick Mahomes. And he also has the most touchdowns without an interception in a postseason, 11, tied with Joe Montana. In his NFL career currently, he's thrown for 43,936 yards, 245 touchdowns, 155 picks, and he's completed 61.6% of his passes. And he does have an athletic family as well. His brother Mike was selected in the 31st round of the 2009 MLB draft by the Orioles. His brother John was a walk-on wide receiver with Stanford. And his brother Tom was also an NCAA quarterback, and he wound up signing with the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the CFL. So, good family there, athletically. I want to thank Mr. Flacco for taking the time to sign that. And worth the wait. I'm glad. I appreciate him sending it back. I want to thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Hit the like button anyway, we might have something you like down the line. If you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing. That would be great. It's free. The more the merrier. Don't cost nothing. And you make me happy. Yes. No, I'm happy anyway. If you do or don't. I'm in this just to have fun, Getting subscribers is great. Make friends. I call everybody a friend when I write a response because I consider everybody a friend. Someday we'll all meet. And check out those 4 channels that I shouted out. They're good channels, great channels. Give them a sub. You'll help them out. That's always good to help new channels and veterans out. So everybody stay safe. I hope you had a great 4th of July. Hope everybody's doing well this summer. Be kind, one person at a time. We can make the world a better place. Tonight, I say good night, I should say, to my brothers and sisters down in Argentina. Love y'all.